So as an attorney, our number one enemy tends to be the potential to burn out. The hours that are required to be a successful attorney are intense. So I want to talk about how I've avoided burnout over the last 12 years of owning and operating my own law firm.
Welcome to the Josh Gerben Show, because law school didn't teach business.
Hi everybody, welcome to episode 16 of the Josh Gerben Show. I hope you're having a great day. I thought it'd be a really interesting topic to talk about burnout. A lot of attorneys, this is kind of the number one thing that attorneys have to be careful about, because we have to work so many hours and so many hours sitting down in front of a computer that it's very easy to develop all sorts of health problems from this. You know, one would think that an office job doesn't come with a lot of health complications potentially from work, but it really can. And you know, not only does burnout can also lead to mental health issues and all sorts of problems for lawyers. And it's something that I am keenly aware about in my practice, because since I opened my law firm in 2008, I really haven't had the opportunity to walk away for any extended period of time. And by that I mean more than a day. And so as any attorney knows that really gets into the higher levels of practice, you're never really able to shut it off and take a week off. That is awesome if you can do that, but it's very rare you can. Also, if you're playing 51 weeks a year to get to that 1 week a year you have off, that's not a way to live either, right? We really have to enjoy and live every day, even when we're super busy as attorneys. And that's something that I have really focused on the last couple of years, is how can I genuinely enjoy every day and part of the process, as opposed to playing for the 1 day a week I might take off, or the one afternoon a week I get off, or whatever it is. How do we, every single day, keep our energy up and not burn out? So there's two strategies that I've developed to ensure that I try to keep my health and my mind in the proper place. The first is you have to take care of your body, right? You have to work out. The other thing you have to think about is what you're putting in your body, what you're eating, and the fuel that you're giving yourself day in and day out, and how that can affect you. So let's jump into the physical fitness aspect of it, because I think this can be one of the hardest things to get right for attorneys. There's so many demands on our time. It is incredibly easy to say, I'm going to go to the gym today, and then a call or an email comes in from a client that totally throws your day off and you don't get there. And if you let that happen, and you let a single call or an email or just a deluge of 10 emails from different people all of a sudden change your schedule all the time and not be able to get to the gym, you're never going to get to the gym, literally, right? I mean, that's something like that's going to happen every single day. And that was happening to me. You know, I would get up in the morning, I'd start work early, and I'd say, I'm going to find a time today to get to the gym. And as I'd start working, more emails would come in, more calls would come in. And by the time I got back to everybody, I'd turn around, it'd be 6, 7 o'clock at night, and I was exhausted. And there was no going to the gym then either. So what I started doing is creating an unnegotiable hour every day. It doesn't matter what's going on. Because what I realized is that I'm playing the long game. You know, I'm playing for 20, 30 years. I'm not playing for this year, and I have to hit every number this year. I have to get back to every single client the same day. It's just not realistic, right? And so what we're going to do is we're going to take an hour every day and we're going to go to the gym. And that hour for me is 11 to 12 o'clock. And I find it's an incredibly effective hour for a couple reasons. One, I can get up and get right into work in the morning, which for me is important because that's when my mind is really sharp and I can do a lot of finer tasks. So I can get all the overnight email taken care of. I can kind of start working through a few things, maybe even take a few client calls. And I will actually start work at 7 in the morning. So I think it's important to start early to get a jump on the day, and you can get ahead of things before people really get in. And then all of a sudden you've got a little bit of break, right? So by 11 o'clock, I've now worked 4 hours and I'm ready for a break. So I go to the gym for an hour. Now I'm not lifting huge, heavy weights. I'm not running 5 miles. I'm doing a lot of stretching, okay? I'm doing a lot of light weightlifting. I'm doing a lot of light aerobics. And this is because I personally, I do have some back issues, things like this. I've got to be careful about not hurting myself, but I want to still get the blood flowing. I want to keep my strength up, keep my flexibility up. Those are my personal fitness goals. So whatever your personal fitness goals would be, you should handle in that 1 hour a day. Now, once I finish that hour, the next thing I do is I go back to my day, but I'm thinking about physical fitness all day long. And I say this because I have a standing desk at work. So you're not just sitting down all day. You're taking breaks to stand, and then you're taking breaks to sit. So if you have a standing desk or you think about getting one, the idea is not that you stand the whole day. That also is not healthy. but you need to get up and get down. And that really helps your body regulate things. It helps keep blood moving. And you'll even find, and this is what I find, when I got used to standing and working, I am more productive in the hour or half an hour or whatever the time frame is that I'm standing, because I'm fully engaged in what I'm doing, as opposed to sitting down and being able to kind of have your mind wander and be more relaxed. But a standing desk throughout the day, coupled with the workout, ends up making things, keeping things really good. Then if you want to add another layer on it, a lot of us as lawyers are on the phone all day long. You need to get a really good noise-canceling headphone. I'll put in the show notes the one that I use. It's actually the one that truckers use, because it's so good you can't hear like the noise from the truck and the blowhorns and all that kind of stuff. And I will, when I get on a conference call or a call with a client where I'm just need to talk and I don't need everything in front of me, I will literally walk out the door and do laps around the office. Just a light walk. But I get outside, I get sun on my face, and B, again, I'm getting that light aerobic workout that's so important and so healthy for anybody. So those are the things I'm doing all day long, right? I'm constantly thinking about, am I up and moving? And I'm taking that hour during the day to get my workout in. And then as a final note on fitness, what I do at the end of the day is I typically, once I come home, so I start my day at 7 a.m., I get home by 5:30 because I have young kids. I get them, bathed, fed, to bed. And by 7:30, 8 o'clock, now I'm normally back to work for a couple hours. But I might go back to work and do 30 minutes to triage a few things, and then I go back outside for 20 or 30 minutes. My favorite thing to do is shoot hoops. So I might shoot hoops and do a very strong aerobic workout at that point. Or if it's not a good night for that, it's raining or whatever, I might just go for a long walk. But I'm always outside trying to get another 20 or 30 minutes of aerobic workout in at that point. And again, none of this is overly strenuous, but it's just constant movement throughout the day, and you'd be surprised how good you feel and how productive you stay. So I always, say, if I go work out for an hour at 11 to 12, 12 to 5, I am so much more productive than if I had just sat in the office all day. So that hour, even though you're taking it away, you're actually putting back on productivity that's going to make that hour seem like it wasn't even time you took away from the office. So again, I'm not saying you have to follow my physical fitness plan, but I want to give you an idea of how important it is to stay moving and how that can really help you, and to think about every part of your day, how you can incorporate that and how you can try to get more physical fitness in your day. And it can just be these small little breaks, but they make a big, big difference. Now, the second part of avoiding burnout is making sure you're eating right. And look, I know this goes probably without saying, but it is so hard to eat right in today's world with all the options that are out there. How do you possibly get to a place where you're doing the right thing? So I'm not a dietitian, a nutritionist, or anything like that, and I could probably do better myself. But the things that I've done to try to cut back on foods that slow me down. So for example, for breakfast and lunch every day, I will eat the same thing. And the reason I eat the same thing is two reasons. One, it leaves me no choice, so I have to have whatever the healthier option is that I've predetermined I'm going to eat. But two, it's a time saver. I'm not sitting there trying to figure out what I'm going to have for lunch or figure out what I'm going to have for breakfast. It's just, this is what I'm going to have, and it's already ready to go. So there's no time being wasted, and it's a healthy option. For breakfast, and this is where I could probably do a little bit better, I'm typically having some dry Cheerios and cereal. I don't put milk on or anything like that, and I'll couple that with berries that are typically blended into some kind of non-fat Greek yogurt for protein, and then also banana. So I have a lot of fruit and my Cheerios and some water and coffee. And that is the jet fuel that gets me going in the morning. By the time I get to lunch, I'm having a salad, but the salad's got to have something in it that's got a kick, meaning it's got to have a lot of spinach in it, kale, something that's really green, not just romaine or iceberg or anything like this. It's a real green salad. Then I have a peanut butter sandwich, so peanut butter on whole wheat bread to go with that for the protein that I want to get. And those two things are surprisingly very filling, and then nothing about that slows you down either. It's not like you're having a burger, you're having a big chicken sandwich. In my view, look, I'm not vegan, I'm not vegetarian, but you should avoid meat as much as possible. If you watch any of the nutritional studies that are being put out today, meat itself, whether it's white meat, red meat, whatever it is, it's just not the healthiest thing for the human body. So the more you can avoid that, the better, and I certainly would avoid that in the front end of your day where you need to be productive, because it actually will slow you down by eating that. And then finally, for dinner, again, we're normally looking for healthy options, lots of veggies. I typically have tons of vegetables for dinner, whether it's broccoli, whether I'm making a stir fry. I'll normally couple that with some whole grain pasta. Maybe we will have a little chicken. Maybe every once in a while, once a week, I might have a steak. But again, I'm trying to avoid meat as much as I can. Sometimes I'll even have eggs and veggies. Do like the peppers and onions and type of thing with the eggs. But again, keeping it very healthy, cooking at home. Again, not easy to do, but look, I run a business. I have 3 kids. I don't have any time, right? And I'm able to figure out how to do it because I plan, and it's important to me, and I make it a priority. But these are, so these are the things that I do, and by doing all of that, I'm telling you this whole story for one reason only, which is that I think that if you eat right and you exercise frequently, you'll be a much happier person. And I think you'll be a much healthier person, which will make you a much more productive person, and you'll avoid burnout because you're taking the appropriate breaks and you're doing it day to day. It's not like I'm going to work a month and take 3 days off. That you will burn out doing that. You have to day to get yourself right and enjoy your day. And if you do that, you can go and go and go and go. And, you'll always have that productivity and never have the feeling that you just can't go any further. So I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Again, a lot about me and my routines, but I wanted to share them with you to get you thinking about what routines you could put yourself in and potentially get yourself in a healthier place and avoid burnout as you go through your career. Hope you found this helpful. Please let me know if you have any tips or tricks you've found helpful in the comments below. Share them with the group. That would be amazing. And I'll talk to you next time.